Bueno, ya nos recuperamos de la caída de internet. Voy a continuar donde me quedé, más o menos donde recuerdo que estaba.
Alize, how are you feeling?
Well enough, brother. Thanks to the kindness of our hosts. They told me you had departed for Zelfatol while I was still abed. I slept much better knowing that. Thank you.
I take it your mission was a success.
As if we needed any further confirmation that they are in league with the Ascians. But to save another world? I think not.
I too thought his story fanciful at first. But it is possible there may be a kernel of truth in all of this. At the very least, none of his claims contradict the word's account.
You were following these people, Alize. Why?
During my travels, I had oft enjoyed tales of the Scions and their exploits. But after a time, I began to hear whispers of a gifted and theretofore unknown band of adventurers. Adventurers who had supposedly sworn to travel the realm slaying primals in the Scion's stead.
The Warriors of Darkness. And in the course of investigating these rumors, you stumbled upon the Ascians' involvement.
Yes, exactly.
Forgive me, but if these Warriors of Darkness mean to bring about another calamity, to what end do they hunt primals?
To prompt an escalation. To deepen the beast tribe's feelings of helplessness and despair, and thereby drive them to summon ever more powerful gods. And lest we forget, these events do not occur in isolation. With their patron deities being slain left and right, the news of man's victory over Nidhogg must surely have sown panic in the minds of the beastmen. 'Tis no wonder they wish to defend themselves.
Power answered with greater power, death with more death. A vicious cycle fueled by fear and hatred. I know it's like all too well.
Indeed. The Ascians sow discord and desperation, and the Warriors of Darkness reap the harvest. And so it continues. Yet that is not the extent of their ambitions. The Ascian himself observed that once the powerless realize that the old gods have failed them, they will have little recourse but to look to a new one.
We cannot let that happen.
It should come as no surprise, but Alize and I have uncovered evidence that the Ascians have been manipulating certain parties to ensure that a constant stream of crystals flows into the hands of the beast tribes. If we sever these supply lines, we should at least be able to slow the escalation.
Agreed. Kral and I shall journey to Zelfatol and learn what we can of the Ixal's source.
Then I, for my part, pledge to lead a similar investigation into the origin of the Nath supply.
¿Eso ayudaría?
Sir Emmerich?
As a member of the Eorzean Alliance, Ishgard is honor bound to play an active role in maintaining the security of the realm. You might also say that I have some personal motivation, given the Ascians' dealings with my father. However, I make no secret of the fact that my knowledge of primal beings is scant at best. As such, I should be most grateful if one of your order were to assist me.
Allow me, Sir Emmerich. I have dealt with the Nath before.
Let us consult with Orianja then. Given his dedication to the study of primal beings, I should be surprised if he could not tell us something of value.
Allow me to accompany you, brother. And before you think to refuse, know that I am not the girl I once was. I shall not be a burden. You have my word.
But Alize, you... You are more than welcome. After all, it was you who set us upon this path.
Wait a minute. I'm afraid I can't allow you to leave just yet. Not until you try on the new outfit I prepared for you.
Ay, Tataru. Completamente dedicada a ser Weaver. Buenas tardes, eso ya es una cabana. Muy bien, ya estoy de regreso. It has been many months since last we worked together, though I believe the same cannot be said of the two of you. I was aware of your subterranean expedition, of your search for the truth of the calamity. I consider involving myself with Heavansward for a time, but as you know all too well, circumstances conspired to keep us apart. I can only assume that she carried on in our absence. Ni siquiera he podido hacer las cosas Bahamut. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Right then, shall we off? The Turo never ceases to impress, though for a moment I fear she might furnish you with an identical outfit. Praise the troll, she did not. Mother and father were rather too fond of making us wear matching clothes. Do you remember that time at the stadium when that girl of yours crept up behind me and whispered, "Sister, please, she was not mine." Can we not have this conversation in front of the Warrior of Light? Qué mala. So be it, another time perhaps. I should thank you again for your assistance in my expedition, Jengo. Though we left matters somewhat unfinished, I am nevertheless prepared to focus on the task at hand and aid you to the fullest extent of my ability. As you helped me to raise the coils, so too will I help you defeat the Warriors of Darkness. Regardless aside, I must say that you seem different, more resolute than when last we met. You have the look of a woman who is ready to fight for the future of Eorzea. To the extent of my abilities, perhaps, but I have no delusions of grandeur, nor I will pretend to have found myself or any such thing. I am here today because I would regret if I weren't, that's all. Enough. Let us depart to the Walking Sands, then, and see if Uriel can be of assistance. Probablemente esté indispuesto Uriel. No me digas que se cortó otra vez el internet. Ok, no fue eso. Urianje, apologies for calling upon you unanswered. Why, Master Fino? Was that the scholar had been sent to grant me knowledge of the coming? What brings thee and thine here this day? Why does the darkness has returned? Pray allow us to explain. I too have heard tales of tales in recent days of primal veins rising up only to be cast down by forces unknown. Alas, as to this observed, this event but spurred the various tribes to pursue their goals with redoubled fervor. We have two objectives at this time: to identify and remove the source of the beast crystals, and to have the right action to prevent any further summoning rituals from reaching completion. The second is easier said than done, of course. When we were fortunate enough to learn of the Ixal's plans before they came to fruition, I should be surprised if Warriors of Darkness and the Assassins did not have similar designs elsewhere, of which we have no knowledge. Two were wise to come hither, for this very day I did receive tidings from most trouble from across the star of Meniltor. Ogmoros stirred, and there are whispers that the Lord Grass needed his return. The rumors marked though, put in light of Stein own discoveries. Tokens ill afford to turn deaf ear to their claims. Aye, we must ascertain the truth of the matter for ourselves. Let us consult with the master forces stationed at Camp Overlook, Jengo. Thank you for your counsel, Ranger. Pray inform us to should you learn aught else. I shall. If I may, brother, or Ranger, is there anything else you would like to say? Alice? If not, never mind. I only ask because you are normally rather more verbose. Nothing to add? Very well, with the parish, I wish to make a request. The Warriors of Darkness spoke of how the Ardor had the power to break down the barriers between planes, that our worlds might be rejoined. I would ask that you research this for us. Being nowhere near as well read as you, I'm sure I wouldn't know where to begin. That said, I have heard tell of a promising tomb, the Gerul Oracles. Mayhap you could start there. By tea leaf. Camp Overlook, was it? Very well. Es que Alice vio los spoilers. 7 health. At this rate, I have to appeal to my Storm Command for reinforcements. Whatever it is, we don't have any. Well, fancy that. Just when my Cobalt problems look like I'm on to ahead, the Scions of 7 down turn up itching to pitch in. Rudy Billion, Treming is what it is, right then. Let's get to it. So, our friendly neighbors in Ugamaro have got much more aggressive of late. Let us, just as you say. Matter of fact, our scouts spotted one sniffing about the stores just now, likely looking to make off with armful of crystals. I'll be damned if I'm about to let that happen. In the hand, I help us search for the camp. Lend a hand and help us search the camp for a little booger, would you? Almost all friends seem notably more agitated than when first we arrived. Do you happen to know what it might be? A kobold in the camp, you say? That would appear to corroborate Orange's information, yes, but to be so reckless as to infiltrate my storm camp and draw attention to their efforts is passing strange. Well, there will be time to think of it later. For the present, we must do everything in our power to prevent Titan summoning, and that means finding the and questioning these kobolds. Uy, se va corriendo. A ver, Kobold, ¿a dónde crees que va? Stay back, away, far, back, no, tal. It's no use, pointless, hopeless, no use. Please don't hurt me. I only wish to talk. Yes, just talk. Ay. Pues habla y deja de correr. It was a stupid plan. Stupid. But if I tell no one, then everyone will. Found me again. What to do? Ay, come in peace. Only talk. Speak, say, talk. So, please, do not hurt me. So this is our really common infiltration, is it? No wonder the soldiers were on the edge. He could very well give when visit me. Usara, we got him 5 words of science. So little one, I told you. So little one, so you put this thing into my candy, you? Plotting to steal my crystals, were you? No, I came to talk, to ask for help. But when the soldiers saw me, they drew the weapons and shouted out, "Aye." No. Let us all take a deep breath and discuss this like civilized individuals. What is your name, child? Big Man Gabu of the 628th Order. At least, I will be a big man one day. Well met, Gabu. I am Afino, and this is my sister Alice. Esta mirada asesina. Jengo, the man who found you, is our friend, and now that you know our names, we can be friends too. Now, Commander Lloyd, he thinks you wanted to take his crystals, Gabu. Would you say you came to ask for help? Why to us and not your own people? What happened, Gabu? Can you tell us? No one is going to hurt you, alright? Not while we are here, I promise. The Patriarch, the Patriarch is going to summon the Great Father again, and you have to stop him, beat him, fight him, stop him. Gabu's parents say they didn't want it, along with many others, but Patriarch wouldn't listen. He was so angry, raging, foaming angry. He said that if they didn't have iron in their hearts, they would serve as cow for the furlands. And then the guards took my parents and others away, and I haven't seen any of them since. Cook for the furlands. I did not want to believe it, but I had heard tales of fuzzy fashioned from the bones of beastmen, which worshippers used in their rituals, hoping to summon more powerful incarnations of the gods. By the 12, that's sickening. No one listens to Gabu, no matter how much he cries, pleads, begs, cries. They do not listen, only talk about punishing and overdwellers and praising the Great Father. Gabu loves Great Father, but he loves his parents. So please help Gabu stop the Patriarch and save his parents. Commander, advise Maelstrom Command that Titan summoning is imminent. Should the worst come to the worst, we will require their support. Time being of the essence, We three will attempt to infiltrate the Kobold stronghold, secure the crystals, and free the prisoners. Well, if you are sure, you'll forgive me if I don't seem optimistic. We'll make reading just in case. You know that there are collectors who will pay a fortune for abyss magical artifacts. It is perverse. Mrs. Gabu. Duchess Gabu. I tried talking to the others, but they wouldn't listen, so even though I was afraid, I came here. I have faith that we may yet stop the ritual. We would surely have detected the associated etheric disturbance had it manifested already. But I cannot speak out for the prisoners, to have mercy, that they will even contemplate sacrificing their own flesh and blood, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers. Time is of the essence. We must see what else Gabu knows and formulate a plan without further delay. I heard Great Father Titan loves crystals, cherishes, covets, loves them, and if we gather enough, he will return. That's why the Patriarchs love everyone to go forth and gather them. So I was thinking, if we take all the crystals away, maybe Great Father won't come? Very good, Gabu. I was thinking the same thing. Do you know where these crystals are stored? I know. Oh. Several spots, each defined by a different order. Gabu wanted to steal them, but he was too afraid to go alone. Yes, too afraid to go alone. Vaya. But together we can take them away and hide them. Come, Gabu. We lead you to the first cache. Va a ser el primer y último cache que vamos a ver, yo creo. Ah, no. Quickly. You have them all? Good. Move on, Gabu. This way. Corre, Gabu. Time is short. If you have the crystal, we should move on to the next cache. Do you hear me, brother? Brother! It's just that. I am quite certain what they cried once were Isgarian seals. Some took great pains to remove all traces, but enough remains to make out of the pattern. See for yourself. I struggle to imagine cults traveling to Coertas to obtain crystals, much less bothering to conceal their origins. I suspect these crystals were smuggled into the Bilbar by another party, most likely upon of the Asians, as Tancred speculated. I don't understand. Who are the Asians? Do they worship Great Father Titan too? And never mind about that. As Alice said, we do not have time for... We do not have a lot of time. Can you lead us to the next cache, Gabu? Yes, of course. Gabu knows the way. This next one is the last and very large. very big, very huge, very large. Very. Found it. What about you, Jengo? Any luck? Nothing. What this cannot be? Devils out there. Spotted south. Think, brother, think. We must have moved them, yes? The question is, where to and why? Within Ogomoro, where they summoned Titan once before, I mean to do so again. It is the only explanation. What about mother and father and the others? We have to help them. And we will, Gabo. We will. Stay calm. We will have time. They have yet to call the remaining crates, yes? If they have, they will have fought. They will have found the other caches empty and sounded the alarm. Nevertheless, I believe the time for the spell has passed. We must breach the navel and seize the remaining crystals. There is no other way to prevent Titan's summoning. Just give me the crystals, and I may deliver to the commander. Let's please custody. We dare not take them to the bowels of the mountain. The crystals, Jengo, if you will, right? Thank you. I shall deliver them to Camp Overlook for safekeeping and brief Commander Loading of the situation. Please go ahead. As I recall, there is a mechanism within Gamora mines that should deliver goods to the night. Who will get no the way? For me, that I shall review. Strange. I would have thought you eager to remain in the thick of the action, but if this is what you prefer, then go speed, brother. This way. I take it this is the Teribisic. Right then. As soon as Afino arrives, we go. I trust you are feeling suitable here, Jengo. There is no telling what sort of resistance we'll find there. quickly, you clots. Brisky frisky quickly. I will not suffer any further delays. Lay down your arms and surrender. We have your crystals. There will be no summoning this day. But dwellers, he would come with you. Where are my parents, patriarchs? What are they? Mother? Father? Call for faithfulness, you monster, how could you? We are with servants of the Lord of Cracks. We are his, that he may drink of our blood and partake of our flesh, that we might draw upon the strength of his children and defeat them from the tyranny of the overdwellers. Well, it's a noche. I understand, brothers. I do. Your fear, your anger, your hate. You will do anything to protect your people, anything to deliver them from despair. Whatever it takes to ensure that those who threaten you can never. Whatever it takes to ensure that those who threaten you can never do so again. Within your single-minded pursuit of society, you have brought suffering to your own kith and kin. You have sacrificed the lives of the very people you sought to protect. But it need not to be this way, Patriarch. Renounce this bloody curse. Cease your attempts to summon your god and work with us. Together we will have lasting peace. Another piece to be abandoned at the overdwellers' convenience. Outbreakers, all of you, liars, betrayers, outbreakers. You take and you take and you take, and then you leave, and when you leave you have your fill. You sue for peace. You sue for peace. You promise that this time is the last, until you grow hungry again. And when we dare to defend ourselves, you declare this peace tribe cannot be suffered to live, that our God drains the land of either and brings not but suffering, death, destruction, suffering upon us all. I will hear no more lies from you and yours, overdweller. You have ruined our own lands. You will not ruin ours. I said I come for you, and I did. I'm here. Say something, please. Please. Wake up. Wake up. Básicamente barrer. ¿Sabe qué es? Thank you. Nothing up. Leave it to me. He must away. En algún momento regresa, no me pierdo. Me tardé un poco más de lo que tenía planeado. En fin. A ver. Greeting another unseen angel is can seem to wake him. Ready to earth. How could I be so foolish? I should have known better that to let Gabu accompany us, given that he would like to find. His anguish and despair have served to build a primal, just as surely as was the supplication of the faithful. Worse, being born from such tumultuous emotion, this incarnation of Tekken seems incapable of not-good violence. If we have one cause for optimism is that while many crystals were present, they presented with a fraction of the quantity intended for the summoning ritual, meaning that Titan must be far weaker than Planet. Be as it may, he is yet a primal, and the longer we let him bleed a land for ether, the stronger he will grow. Until Titan be permitted to leave Ogomoro, more lives will be lost. The Maelstrom will rally their troops, and the cycle will continue. Diego, you know what must be done. Will you face the door cracks once more? Thank you, my friend. Alisai and I will take to Gabu when you have finished with the primal. Look for us in Camp Overlook. We will be expecting you. Level hard. Bueno, por lo menos como Hilder es a veces más rápido. Bueno, lo bueno que me lo cuenta con cualquiera mientras se haga. Ah, there he is. Did I not tell you he will return safe and sound? Did it is done then? Take a list no more. Good. There has been enough tragedy this day. He has been like that since he renamed Confucius. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond. He is almost certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the primal's influence. But should that prove to be the case, he must be put to death like any other troll, such as the Alliance policy, yes? You had a right of it. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Isail's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted Isgar's peace. We can watch, wait, and play. There is not to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which may never even come to pass. Let us turn to more immediate matters, informing Commander Rollin of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Will you be so kind as to bring it to him? You are aside for this, for sore eyes. When the others came back, we told you I feared the worst. But they say you have matters well in hand. All settled then is it? I'm glad to hear it, but not as hard as I'm glad my men will be. Believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's a primal, and there ain't a soul on the milestone that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like, we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd need to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which, my friends, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you lot have places to be, but why not stay the night? We'd be honored to raise a glass in the triumphant return of Titan's Bane. Mira.
Who goes there?
Meow.
Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. So quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences, yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try. Do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
Fala algo de tu contanos. No sé que hablas tú de lo internet. Hey there, Darksand.
Gods! They must have been at each other's throats from dawn till dusk. I dare say you managed to keep the peace, though. Merely being in the presence of the Warrior of Light is surely enough to shame anyone into behaving. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say. It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts. And thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardor belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Very well. Draw him out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Well, ho, Jengo, I trust you had a good night's rest. I was but a moment speaking with Tancred and Stola Brialenberg. They say they have some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates which had once worn Ishgarian seals. It would seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. According to Topol Knights, have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Aymeric believes that it is only a matter of time before the cultures are found, but we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they do have In case they too are flushed with garden crystals, and with that in mind, I suggest we pay Goranger another... Wait, where is Elisai? She was here a moment ago. Gabu. Elisai... ¿Dónde estará esta mujer ahora? Ah. I apologize for this disappearing again. If it's any consolation, I have already packed my things. Who is he? Brother Commander Boylin. Something tells me you are not solely here out of concern of his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been a change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with the same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander, and treat him with every kindness? He's still there, I know it, beneath the anguish and the despair. He is still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance until he comes back to us, until we know for certain that what has become of him. You needn't worry. If he hadn't risked his neck to warn us, I had just secured the better part of the crystals, this could have turned into outdated side worse than it did. We'll not soon forget that, and nor will Marston Command. I'm so sorry, Gabu. I'm too young. You should never have been made to, and I know I cannot possibly understand. Maybe there is nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of the other times. Remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much, your heart feels fit to burst. Let it burst, and feel it again with your love for them, and never ever forget. Come along, little one. I will remember them, and you, and I said, thank you. Have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time, he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. At those times over, there will be a reckoning. We have heard the glad tidings from Ogomoro. My friends, by the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Lim Salominsa may rest easy. I should like to think so, yes. So we failed to prevent Lord Krax from manifesting. We did succeed in weakening him, enabling our friends to dispatch him before the Warriors of Darkness could make matters worse. It was by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Then let us speak of another matter, one which weighed heavy on my lady's mind. As to this request, I sought out the Gerun oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the Warriors of Darkness. Through the copious use of allegory confident any single interpretation, the oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of words parallel to our own, apart yet linked, reduces to ring with every umbral calamity. 7 times they have succeeded. Then 10 and 3, only 6 word remains. Aye, all is as my lady Mifilia spoke unto thee. As for what becomes of these reflections when they and the source are rejoined, frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul surrendered to her call to flow into the endless sea, there to endure as one unknown. Then, if the Warriors of Darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die. In essence, the verse speaketh of the renunciation of the flesh and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to the alternative, for if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the manner of Warriors of Darkness described, it would give away into a void wherein none may know either life or death. Far better to die, they reason, for in death there is life. The essence of a soul which returns into the source may be born anew, save such at least is their belief at sunrise. If that is true, then, gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further in the subject, I will share with thee another recent discovery. Thusing and several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of certain Alamigan parties. Alamigans? Strange. And you believe this is the work of the same Nilfgaardian smugglers who supply the beast tribes? I know beyond shadow of a doubt. And lest you wonder at their motive, I will remind you that the Asians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of dragons. The individuals who took receipt on these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamigan liberation. It may also interest thee to know that the Nilfgaardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remains of Elaine Roll's network of spies. Sorry, jest, and yea, it is not surprising. Bereft of leader and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Asians, assuming they even know or care who their new employers are. All which is irrelevant, forgive me. We must speak of the resistance group which received more the crystals with delay. Jengo, Alisai, will you come with me to a little amigo? Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they had to say for themselves firsthand. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal. ¿Cómo se le queda viendo a Lise? Final, Alice, Jengo, are you there listening? Are you three listening? Good, I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smugglers' warehouse less than an hour ago. A cursory interrogation with the prisoners gave confirmation that they were employees of. I hope you are not sitting down. You are sitting down. A man in black robes. Then you have them, and the crystals too. What few remained, regularly it will seem they were especially worth in achievement in the hours before we struck. Twas born to a little amigo, we are told. There will be received by members of the local resistance group. Since Sir Aymeric may no longer have need of my services, I have to mind to head that way. As do we. By happy coincidence, we learned of the shipments but a few moments ago. And then I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Life and his little helpers. Wait a moment, there is more, and I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Isgardian smugglers were formerly in the employ of one Elaine Roin, the infamous Evie herself. Once again, Tancred, I feel I must inform you that. Tancred, with whom else you have shared this information? About the smugglers? No one. As I think mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Gistola next, but there is someone else you would have me notify first? No, there isn't. Muy sospechoso que Urian ya sepa tantos detalles. Obviamente sabemos por qué. What in the world has gotten into her? It's twice that we have stolen Roger said, and twice she has treated him as he were a stranger. The Archon was one of grandfather's most dedicated pupils, and spent as much time at Levelius State as we did. He's practically a member of the family. Truth to be told, I just struggle to recall a day of my childhood when I did not see all the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter later. So, little amigo awaits. To little al amigo. I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me. It has been a long day. Do you have something to say? Wouldn't you? Oh, I will struggle to understand what's going in his head. No more than ever. Listen, Jengo, if anything should happen, it should be me who. You know what I'm prepared to do, what must be done. Right then. To more pressing matters. Since we have no idea when Tancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. Someone is willing to speak also about resistance. So, to review, we are reliably informed that members of the Alamigan resistance operating here have taken receipt of several large shipments of crystals. Our task begin to ascertain who and why. Given the size of the settlement, I find hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the resistance movements. The challenge, of course, will be finding Midas who are, but I'm willing to share such information with ourselves. It will seem sensible to divide our forces. Jengo, why don't you question the residents and eastern half of town? Alexander will do the same in the west, and afterwards we can reserve here to share our findings. En vez de dejarme hablar con el abuelo. Bueno, está bien. Primero vamos arriba y luego vamos abajo. Resistance. Then if I know, it's not as if I'd be used. It's not as if I'd be any use to them. If you set a store by all these tales of a secret weapon, good luck to you. But time to all for the mass bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it is time we got used to it. A ver aquí abajo. Let me guess. Come to join the fad, have you? No need to deny it, friend. You are not the first to answer to Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Alamigan's heart, he is also inspired more than a few Uldens to pledge themselves to the cause. And a little wonder, the Guardians won't stop until we are all under the yoke. Tailbot. I see, you are gonna asking questions, looking for the Griffin and his lot, I bet. Since that you're talk of little amigo these days, folk wondering what he's about and what he's got in the store for the Galleons, and what's under that mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a face, what will all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and they sent a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine. I suppose I should ask what you mean, but I think I already know. This Griffin seems to be leader of a newly formed faction within the Resistance, the Masks. Yet despite the growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them, only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Alamigan liberation is unrivaled. We can but hope the revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystal shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I will speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions. I may have need his help while I am about it. Given that you and Gundobal are already acquainted, maybe it would best is you took the lead, shall we? Vamos a hablar con el señor. To hear people speak of him, the Griffin sounds like a man in his middle years. But if that's the case, just what has he been playing at the past 2 decades? If he is so devoted to the cause, why has he waited until now to do something about it? Unless, of course, he hasn't. Much as it pleases me to see you again, Jengo, I cannot help but to wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking questions. The Griffin? Aye, I know him. As do we all. He and his mask have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion that at first, given his secretive waves, he quickly proved himself as a charismatic and capable commander. Men are down to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. Even I cannot help but to admire the man for what he has accomplished. But I have not forgotten Wilred, and I was blind to the danger to his ambitions as you are not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the Second Temple of Squarn. Go and see him with your own eyes, weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient, but this was a pity Tancred is not here to join us. You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. He's not already. Has it begun already? I hear voices coming from within.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out. building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us. And they have murdered us. But no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands. This I promise you, for we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Alamigan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Albania once more!
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Words que nos express. What cannot express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. And you, though it must pretty obvious you and Jengo will be fine. The Crystal Rest never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions divided as they were distributed in better parts of Eorzea. But do you truly believe that? Forgive me, what exactly have you been doing all this time? Repaying a favor, and after the banquet we had no choice but to flee Ulda, and we would not have been able to do without the 8,000 old friends from the Resistance. That's right. They smuggled us of the city and shelled us in Little Alamigo. All that great risk to themselves. Obviously, we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them with their operation for a while. When we learned of the Scion's exoneration, that Lolorito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves, and that General Roban had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact. But having long since discarded all the papers as a precaution measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with a little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gather from your post expression, however, that you never receive it. To be honest, we thought this might happen. While the Mass are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they are pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the science of the Svendown. Curious. It is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. I should say that the man you saw was not in fact a Griffin, but an impersonator, and a talented rebel rooster to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible of the majority of these public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is an extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the mask. Esto es lo de la máscara. What? It's not as if making all of you wear one, and mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the man. For all the good it did. I know you have heard the whole of it, but tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Summoning? You are not serious. I can't believe it. The Resistance will never even entertain such a ridiculous plan. But the Griffin, well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence that he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. They must have made many such claims of late, I confess I had assumed it to be more bluster, but in the context of the achievements of which you spoke, it is not impossible that they are alluring to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll find out together, and if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed, that's assuming you have us. The rest of the tale is not so surprising. We have no reason to believe that they had escaped with the aid of enemy refugees. After all, still Tataru will be delighted to hear we have been reunited, once we have attended the matters here, of course. If as you suspect the Griffin is indeed plotting to summon a primal, we must needs obtain confirmation while there is yet time to act. To that end, I propose we question his double. Given his role as group's de facto mouthpiece, I should not be surprised if he were one of the Griffin's closest associates. And while he may not be aware of more sensitive details, he can probably tell us the mass plans in broad strokes. Like the man who he impersonates, however, he is wary of outsiders. He will not expose himself without a suitable incentive. My plan is as follows. You and Alfino will pose as adventurers fallen on hard times and inspired by his words to take arms for a noble cause. Ida and I, as members of the Resistance, will recount tales of your past achievements and testify as to your usefulness in the struggles ahead. With our enthusiastic assurances still ringing in his head, he will decide to welcome you in person, and we will arrange a meeting. You will need to look the part. We might maintain the charade until we have him cornered, at least here. This should be enough to purchase suitable garments from Tailbot, and to have him rub a respectable amount of dirt on them for good measure. Any questions? It all seems simple enough. Thank you, and with that, Jengo, let us be off. De regreso al amigo. Aquí abajo. Hey, you want to buy what? I don't know what you are up to, but I want no part of it. Well, you are the ones with the guild and sin. You are friends with your friends of Papalimo. There, Tunic and Slove for the both of you. Tell Loretta and they are restricted to your tastes. Now off with you before someone sees us together. Let us make the man, they say. Right then, I will go change and see you at the spot Papalimo marked on our maps. Y estos son pantalones, sí. Well, look at us. A part of us done at Hill Adventures seeking a chance to capture past glories. Yes, they will suffice. And now we play the waiting game.
My thanks, comrades. You must be the esteemed adventurers of whom I've heard so much. I understand you have taken an interest in our cause.
A great interest, you might say. Your words have certainly made quite an impression on my friend and I. The Resistance has long, and some would say wisely, avoided open engagements with the Garleans, but you and yours seem confident against the world in arms. I can only assume you have good reason to be so bold. Why, one might even think you are planning to summon a primal. Because that would do much to explain the sizable shipment of crystals you recently received from your smuggler friends, whom our Ishgardian allies have since detained, lest you wonder.
I'd like to hear more about the Griffin. The real Griffin. Your performance earlier didn't fool us.
Ah, the famous scions of the Seventh Dawn. I should have known better than to think I could conceal the truth from you lot. You are right. I am not the Griffin, but I speak with his voice, and it was at his behest that we procured those crystals. You are wrong, however, if you think that we procured them to summon a primal. We used them to reach an accord with the Amalja. In exchange for crystals to summon their god, they will aid us in the fight for Alamegan liberation.
You've got to be joking. Have you gone completely mad? When people find out you helped the Lizardmen summon Ifrit, they'll turn on the Resistance. Alamigo will never be free.
This isn't a fairy tale, girl. We don't have the luxury to play at being honorable heroes. It's because the likes of you wouldn't sully your saintly hands that Alamigo's been under the yoke for the past 20 years. But the Griffin won't stand for it, and neither will we. We're ready to do whatever it takes.
What proof do you have of this arrangement with the Amalja?
What? Aside from a lack of crystals? None. But the beastmen have a great big pile of the things if you fancy looking. You might want to hurry, though. It'll not be long before they summon their god. Search our camp if you don't believe me. We have naught to hide.
If there is a cache to be found, Ida and I will find it.
then let us be off. Are you perchance the Warrior of Light? Aye. I thought so. You should know that a great many who have joined us did so because you saved them. Because you showed them that one brave man can make a difference. You saved me too once. Helped a friend over in Quarry Mill make some medicine I needed. But that was a lifetime ago. On behalf of my brothers and sisters, I thank you. You gave us hope where there was none. Courage and strength when all was lost. We shall not squander your gift.
Y eso es lo que van a hacer.
I know that look, Ida, and I do not like it. You cannot seriously be contemplating taking up arms with that band of cutthroats.
I just...
If the Griffin and his men have their way, it is only a matter of time before the situation in Alamigo comes to a head. Your homeland's future teeters on a knife edge, and any reckless action, however small, could have irrevocable consequences. You mustn't lose sight of that, Ida. When the time comes, we must all make our choices, but we must do so in full possession of the facts. Now, let us away. There is work to be done.
Corre me, Yesai. Do you remember? Forgive me. You cannot be expected to recall every name and face, and besides, it's not as if it matters. I have long admitted how you live in the present, how you focus on the problems at hand, and always keep moving forward. So let us keep moving forward together, Jengo. We must find and secure those crystals. This is no time for looking back. Ok, esto debería ser el marcador del fin del parche. Entonces vamos a dejarlo por aquí esta noche. Muy bien. Vamos a aprovechar el poco tiempo que seguramente queda para hacer un dungeon más. Según yo, en 20 minutos se acaba el tiempo de... Se van a entrar en mantenimiento de los servidores, entonces no hay problema. De igual forma nos veremos mañana para continuar con la historia de Heavansward. Bueno, no importa, si se desconecta todo, me da tiempo para despedirme. Vamos a hacer algo que tenga más provecho que tratar que esperar por un dungeon que probablemente no jale antes de que se cierre el servidor. Entonces vamos a hacer esto. Ya reconozco el lugar. Ok. So this is where we cannot garden of flats. Never before I have seen such tainted ether. Let us not linger long, Jengo. Turn your mind now to Bahamut's terrible majesty. Allow his power to seep into your very being. I think we may need to begin our meditations. Do you truly intend to harness the might of Bahamut? The essence of the Elder Primal shall tear your mortal flame asunder. Chaos races in the presence of power, would you, bringer of light, can be allowed to shine no brighter. Come, and be those in the endless waters of the 12th chalice. Okay. Ok, solo falta uno. Son las que dos. A ver. I do not anticipate that you should not have been able to complete the meditation under such duress. But I shall not underestimate you again. Our next meeting shall be our last, bringer of light. We did it. We faced the Paragon and leave. And this thanks to you, Jengo. You and the towering might of Bahamut that you now command. Despite the essence interference, we achieved what we came here for. But an reference is not the place to celebrate. Let us return to landing before the Dao's life finds us in forbidden territory. We have reason to rejoice, my friends. It will seem our clandestine adventure went unnoticed by my superiors, and more importantly, we seized the upper hand in the battles against an Asian. The trance did appear most effective against our immortal foe. Such as hurried night war, we managed to rid quite harvest indeed. I would pity the bastard fled when he did. I would have liked to have settled the score then and there. It was for the beast Captain Wolf. If we will truly defeat the Asians, then we must be prepared to destroy him utterly, body and soul. Dreadwind Trance. Muy bien. Muy bien, eso va a ser todo por esta noche. Gracias por la compañía y nos vemos mañana con más Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. Sale pues, nos vemos, tengan muy buena noche. Chao.